Hello everybody, welcome back. This is kind of a part 2 to my baby registry video. In this video, I'm going to talk about some extra items that I think I would add on to my baby registry that I didn't have in the first one. These are just things that I've noticed with baby number 2 on the way that I learned from baby number 1 I think you should put in here. Now I'm going to point out some items that I've added to this registry that I just put a general item in. I don't necessarily recommend this specific one because I would definitely recommend that you get the cheaper options or a used one if you can. So let's get started. Okay, first one, I just have there's the gift card still on here. That's automatically on your baby list item. Still definitely recommend that. The next one is here. This is a glider chair. Now, as you can see, I just have this one from Amazon. It's about $129. Now, we have one that looks not specifically like color-wise, but this style is exactly what we have. And we actually have one that's probably like 20 or 30 years old. We got it from technically my mother, but my aunt had it. I would say if you can get one in this style and it's only about 130 bucks, just get that one. You don't need to get the fancy type that are overstuffed and, you know, go back and forth and sideways and rocket fuel. You don't need all of that. Just get something really simple that has like a nice little ottoman here. I guess that's what it's called, or footstool, and just glides back and forth. That's what I used with my first baby. And it was amazing. It was really comfortable. You don't need anything too fancy. So something really simple like this would be great. I didn't have pacifiers on my first one, but I just have these Philips Advent Soothie pacifiers, and these are really cheap. My son Miko actually used these. He had them from like probably the day he was born in the hospital onwards, and he really liked them. We used other ones, but these ones work just fine, and they're cheap. And you can put down, like I put down 3, get 3 packs of them, and then you can just, they're $3 or $4. You can just replace them as you need to. The next thing I got is a door jumper. Now, I just put this one, it's a, cheaper style of the door jumper. We actually have, I'll put a picture right here of the one that we have, and it is really great. I do love it. However, it's really big and it gets in the way. And if you don't have a lot of room, these ones that go in the door are great because you can just hang it up and it's out of your way. And then when you want it, you can just let it down. My babysitter that watched my son when I had to work during the day, they had one of these and he really loved it. So I would recommend getting some sort of door jumper once they're able to fit into that, but putting it on your registry, it's really cheap. Next is a nightlight. Now, this one is a little bit more expensive. It's $60, so that's up to you if you want to spend that much money. This is the Hatch Baby Rest Night and Light and Sound Machine. So this one is a night light and a sound machine. We didn't use a ton of night lights when Miko was first born, but we actually are using one now that he's older. And I don't think it's going to hurt to have this. This is really nice to have if you have to go in the middle of the night and do breastfeeding or bottle feeding or whatever sort of, taking care of the baby that you have to do in the middle of the night. And this one has the sound machine built in. We have to have a separate sound machine, which isn't a big deal, but if you can get kind of an all-in-one, that kind of makes the price a little bit more worth it. So I definitely look into getting some sort of nightlight and sound machine. And you can turn this nightlight off if you don't want it on all the time, but keep the sound machine on, so that's always a plus. This one I just added because I thought it was a fun idea, and we didn't have it for Miko, and I kind of am thinking about maybe getting it for Miko, even though he's a little bit older now. He's almost 2. But I really like the idea of like putting their name in their room. I think that's really cute. This is just one from Etsy. Not too bad, $24 for a really, good-sized name. I'm not sure. It's probably a little bit more money if you want a really big one, but I think that's a really cute idea to put on there. Next is the outlet cam. Now, I'm putting this on there hesitantly, but I would get some sort of video camera. Now, we have to have a video camera because Jenna can't use an audio camera. My wife is deaf. If you're watching my channel for the first time, she is deaf, and so she cannot go with just an audio camera. And I really like having the video camera. This one is a really, really nice camera. We have it in my son's room right now. We use it as an overall room camera. So you can stick it up really high. The only thing I'm going to say about this, which I'm hoping they fix this soon, is that it does not give you notifications to your phone when there is sound. And that is a kind of a big deal right now because Jenna's not able to get notified if there's a sound. Now, with Miko being the age he is, it is okay. If they don't have that part of the notifications fixed by the time we have the next baby, that might be a game changer. We might have to get a different camera, which would be really sad because we have the outlet sock and they could work together and that would be super awesome. But if you don't need to have the sound notifications, like if that's not a big deal and you could just hear the baby in general, then this one is amazing and it works really great. So, but I would recommend some sort of baby camera that's a video camera because I just think it just makes you more sound of mind. Instead of just hearing, in case you can't hear something, you can just watch on video, and this one has really great quality. And another nice thing about this camera, and a lot of cameras actually nowadays, is you can have other people be able to watch them. So if somebody is downloading the app, like let's say my mother, she lives in a couple states away, and so they don't get to see Miko as much as they would like, so it's really nice that they can watch him, go to sleep. They can say goodnight that way. Instead of having to do like FaceTime or video or whatever, they can just watch right through his app and watch him sleep if they want to. They really like it. Next thing I didn't put on last time was some sort of sleep sack. Now this is the Halo Sleep Sack Swaddle. Tongue twister. This one we really liked in the beginning. I really like these sleep sacks in general, but the swaddle one is really nice when they're much younger and they need that swaddle. For me, it's really hard to just swaddle with a swaddle blanket. I just could never do it. So having this was really nice. The only con to this is most of these are Velcro. So if you have to open it in the middle of the night, baby gonna wake up. So that's the only bad thing. But in general, these sleep sacks are great because you can't be putting blankets in when they're much younger. So you can get really thick ones, really thin ones. You can get ones with arms, without arms, all those sorts of things. And even up until they're walking, you can get them in sleep sacks. So I would definitely recommend putting something like that on there. Next is the Haka. Now, I was not able to breastfeed for too long with my first child for many reasons, but I'm definitely going to give it a go the second time around. And I've heard a lot of great reviews concerning the Haka. Whether you get the actual Haka brand or you get some sort of knockoff of it, most of them they all work exactly the same. So this is just a really cheap way if you're breastfeeding your baby. You can just breastfeed on one side, put this on the other side, and it'll just collect whatever milk, would normally come down when you're breastfeeding your baby. And that can just help you little by little, add up in your freezer stash if that's something that you need to do. Or if you're going to want to collect some by the end of the day for the next day, someone's going to watch the baby, you can have it in a bottle ready. Next is a convertible car seat. This is a Britax, I think that's how you pronounce it, Advocate Clip Type convertible car seat. I just put this on here because I don't remember why, but in my first video, I actually give you the car seat that we really like, but I would definitely put one of those on there. Next, the Love to Dream Swaddle Up baby swaddle, I guess you'd say. That one I really, really liked. And we didn't use this obviously in the very beginning when Miko was really, really little, but once he was able to get his hands out of the swaddle, he loved this because what they can do is their little hands fit right here. So you can see where the arrow is. And so that way they can have their hands up by their face, but it's not out of the swaddle. They're still swaddled in. This fits around them really tightly, but not too tight. I think it has a two-way zipper if I remember correctly. So this is a really great option if your baby likes to have their hands up by their face when they're still being swaddled. This was a lifesaver for us. This I had on the first one, so I won't really talk about that. Next, now, I have two different breast pumps on here, and you're going to think, Jill, why do you have two different breast pumps? Because I haven't decided which one I would like to get yet. Now, I'm going to have to pay out of pocket for these because my insurance doesn't really cover too much, and with shipping and handling, and because these are really hard to find, I'd have to go almost, 3 hours away. It's going to be about the same price, so I'm going to have to pay my own money. But I would definitely recommend if you're going back to work and you're not going to have the time to just sit and pump and you want to just be hands-free, these are a really great investment if you can save up your money. Or if you don't need too many things on your baby registry, put this on your registry and have a bunch of people go in and they can buy it together. So the options, I'll just show you the two right now. The one is the LV, and where's the other one? This one, the Willow. So with the Willow, it just comes with bags. So you have to use bags, but you can buy a 2-pack of a reusable container, but it is an extra $50. So if you're going to go the way of the Willow, it's actually going to be about $5.50. Whereas with the LV, it's just $500. And these are sold at Bye Bye Baby. I think you can also get them at Target as well as a few other places. But if you are going to do this, definitely look into your insurance. Some health insurances will cover quite a significant portion of these. You know, if you can go through Aeroflow or I think Milk Mommies, those sort of websites, you can get them. And if your insurance pays a good discount, definitely look into that first. So these are just really, it's kind of a luxury item, but I think these are really great things to put on your registry if you don't need a ton of other items and you just want a few big items. I didn't have a carrier back on there, and this is pretty much the one that we have. Ours is a gray mesh though, but they have a lot of different versions. But the Baby Bjorn Baby Carrier 1. Now this is different than the original that has like the V and like the weird dangly tail thing. The reason we got this is because I'm very short and my wife is tall, and so it actually fit us both really well. We both really liked it, and it's not too bad of a price for a buckle carrier, and we can still use it with our son now. He's almost 2. We could use it. It has its own little zipper right on the inside. You can't see here, but it has a zipper, so you don't have to get a special infant insert. It can just zip right up and your infant can go right in. This top part will fold down so they can sit frontwards, backwards, whatever they need to do. Next is a crib mattress. If you're able to, invest, it is $200, but there is the Newton Baby Crib Mattress. This is really nice because it's breathable. You don't even have to put a sheet on it if you really don't want to. And that way you don't have to be worried about if your baby puts their face down in the crib that they're going to, suffocate themselves. They can breathe right through this. So that's just another kind of notch on your safe of mind, when you have a new baby. Now we have this version, but the plush one, and it was obviously gifted to us, and that one's a little bit more money. So, but again, this one will work just as fine. This is just like it's called a Lechco Podster. It's pretty much a baby lounger, similar to I think the Boppy Baby Lounger. We use this thing so much with our first son. I mean, it is so comfortable for them to sit in. It's just better than, I guess, putting them onto the floor. That's just something that worked out really, really great for us. Okay, next item. This is only if you're going to have a winter baby and you live in a cold climate. Babies cannot be bundled up in really thick coats and then put into their car seat. So something like this, which is a car seat cover, works really great because it'll keep them warm and it is safe for baby. This is one by J.J. Cole. I think this is pretty much almost the exact same one that I have. I think ours was blue. We were gifted to it, but I don't know where they got it from because someone bought it and it wasn't on our registry. So this one is really great again. If it's a winter baby, it's cold out, definitely get that. Next, I have 2 different carriers here. Now, these are just cheaper versions of ones. You can get more expensive ones. I was gifted the ring sling that I have actually from our doula. And then we had a Moby wrap for this version. But this one says it's a 4-in-1, so you can like switch it up a bunch of ways. So hey, why not get a 4-in-1, right? I use these for different reasons. This here, which is more of the wrap type of carrier, I loved when Miko was really, really little. Say within that first, month or so, once they're at the weight limit, they can use those. This was amazing. It let me put him in the carrier. It kept him really, really happy, and it allowed me to do everything. I could do the dishes. I could do... Hey, stop. It allowed me to do everything. I could do the dishes. I could do the laundry. I could do almost everything hands-free. It kept him nice and tight. It takes a little bit of getting used to, I guess, to put them in. But once you get used to it, you can get it on super, super easily. It's really easy to just tighten up if you need to. It's nice and stretchy, and it keeps baby really happy when you're carrying them, and it was just great. Now this is a ring sling. This one, it says, can become a ring sling, but I would get them separate because you do not want to have to rethread your ring sling every time that you use it. So instead, just get a separate ring sling. I would invest in it. These are really great once they're obviously able to, use some neck support. You can use them when they're smaller in them, definitely, but like for nursing and such. But these I really liked when Miko was a little bit older, when I didn't want to have him in the carrier anymore. The ring sling was nice because I was still able to be hands-free. He was able to sit, and I really liked the ring sling, so it was really easy to use. You just literally throw it on, stick them in, pull, and you're good to go. It's a lot easier actually than these carriers, but I like them both for different reasons, so I would definitely invest in both. You can get ring slings, like I said here, $30. And if you want something like this, but you just want something cheaper, you can get a Moby wrap, mostly used on Facebook Marketplace, consignment stores, usually for about $10 or $15, and they're worth it. I have 2 of them. Okay, next I have some bottles here. These I put on for a giveaway reason, so I don't necessarily recommend these bottles. We already talked about that in my first one, as well as the high chair. Again, here is the Willow. I've done so much research on both of these pumps, and I still can't make up my mind, like I mentioned. So if any of you guys have either of them, or both of them, and let me know what you think. So I'm still wondering. And then this, I said we would talk about before. This is the Baby Brezza Formula Pro Advanced. Now, if you're going to be breastfeeding and you're not going to be using formula, definitely don't need this. Or if you're going to be mostly breastfeeding and only using formula sometimes, again, $200 is not going to be worth it. Now, again, if you can find these on online used, definitely do it. The one that we have is the older version of this, but we did get it used. We saved, I think, about $50, and it worked really great. We could still use it now if we needed to. Now, if you're going to be exclusively formula feeding, this is 100% worth it, and I'm not even kidding. It was an investment for us, even used, but I really liked this because, as you can see here, it has a canister. You put all your formula up in here, and then you'll have like a water tank somewhere in the back here. You fill that up with water, and then you literally can just stick your bottle on. You press how many ounces you want, press the button, and it makes a warm bottle for you. You don't have to shake it, so it lessens the bubbles if your baby's having gas issues. And it's so great in the middle of the night. Your baby's crying and needs a bottle, and you don't want to have to measure out formula. They don't have to measure out water. Literally, you just have it set up to whatever ounces that you need. You stick it on there, and it just goes, and then it gives you your bottle. Now, the only con to this, I would say, is I'm pretty sure still on the new version you can't do half ounces, but I think you can do, like, the old one you can only do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, so sometimes we'd have to do a little bit of measuring still, but I still think it was 100% worth it if you're going to be exclusively formula feeding or using formula more than you would breast milk. Next, I have on here just bath. This is a really great one we used with Miko. It's great because it's a 4-in-1. So you can start them out when they're really tiny in this little sling. And then once they're a little bit older, then you can stick them in the whole tub. There's like a little seat that goes in there. And so they can actually sit in there if you don't feel comfortable with them just like sitting in the big bathtub. I think this was really worth it. This part can go down. It can just hook on the wall, or it can hook high up in your shower if you really want it to. I really liked having a separate little bathtub for the babe, and we will use the exact same one with the next child. And then the last thing I put on here, which sounds really silly, but the next thing is just nail clippers. Now, I put these on here because look how cheap they are, $2. These are the exact same nail clippers that we have had since birth for Miko, and he's 2 years old now. We use the exact same ones. They're great. You do not need to get any fancy schmancy nail clippers. Once you've done their nails a few times, you will understand exactly how to cut them without hurting their fingers, without cutting their fingers. I know some of them have like guides and special nail files and all these things. You don't need that. So you can just get a safety first hospital choice. You can get like a pack that does have nail files in those. But that is what I would say are some of the other things I would add onto your baby registry. Definitely look back at my first video. That's going to have a lot more items on there that I still do recommend from the first registry that I had. And remember, a lot of these items like the glider, the sleep sacks, the outlet cam, a lot of these things you can put on your registry, but then you can, just put on there, hey, if anyone has them used, give them to me used instead of buying them off of the registry. Or if you have them on your registry and you're not able to get them, definitely look into getting them off of Facebook Marketplace, because then you might be able to get more items since you're saving money. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this second video. And I'm thinking my last video with the baby registries. Let me know down below, what are your must-have items on your baby registry? And yeah, I think that's about it. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody.